Alright, hello gamers, Mucklick here, and today is Tuesday, February 24th, and there is some Guild Wars 2 news. Usual thing, note to users of third-party programs, your add-ons may break, so if they broke today, that's why. Open world changes. New forms of the Thorn Sword Khalidbolg have awakened. Players who have completed the Knights of the Thorn side story can unlock a short collection to obtain Khalidbolg's spear and staff forms by visiting the distant lands of Janthir. Additionally, Ridai will now offer skin-only unlocks as an alternative to changing Khalidbolg's current form. That is very interesting. So Khalidbolg, I should have read this beforehand. Khalidbolg is a weapon that I have a guide on. Right here, Ascended Weapon in 1 hour. And when you get it, you can choose for it to be a greatsword, a scepter, a dagger, or a shield. And you can change it by paying some currency and talking to an NPC named Ridheis, who will then be in your home instance, and you can talk to her anytime you want to change it. So this is adding some new forms to it. If you want to do that quest, I will include a link to the guide on Khalidbolg. It requires Heart of Thorns, but if you have Heart of Thorns and you have, you can do it pretty quickly. If you have a flying mount, you can do it in less than an hour, and you can pick one of those Ascended things, and apparently now there's more options. Now, in the past, to get all of the skins unlocked, you had to be like, change it to a dagger, and you had to pay. Change it to a shield, and you had to pay. And you had to just go through all of them in order to get all the forms unlocked. So now they're adding some new ones. Let me go over here to the dressing room, and we're going to go to wardrobe, go to weapon, and search for Khalid. Okay, I don't see the spear or staff. Okay, I guess they're not called Khalidbolg? I just see the existing ones in here. So that is the sword, that is the dagger, that is the scepter. That's the top and the pointy parts of the bottom. That's the shield. And that's the greatsword. And if you have all of them, you also get a different greatsword called Khalidbolg Origin. So I'm not sure what the staff and spear are called, but apparently Khalidbolg is not in the name. Okay, moving on. Updated the Blackline chest preview to better display the exclusive items and the combined drop chance of the categories. A comprehensive list has been added to the disclosures of odds page. So, we noticed this before reading the notes. If you go to the chest and hit preview, now it shows the rare stuff at the top. So, returning exclusive is like the dance platform. And then new exclusive is acclaimed militia leggings, which with my coat, it just looks like tight red pants. But they apparently match a nether item that came out like a year back of a similar name. Okay, let me change this. Mark the collection is unlocked when you enter a Janthir map. When I enter a Janthir map, okay, just a sec. Let's go over here. All right. And I'll check on that in just a moment. Updated the vintage Black Lion weapon box to include missing weapon sets and consolidated its preview to improve readability. The vintage Black Lion weapon box is a box that when you open it, you get... Oh, there we go. Forms of a Thorn. Okay. I'm going to track that. Reverie of a Thorn also. Okay, track that also. Okay, so the Black Lion weapon chest... you can get a vintage Black Lion box here. And if I preview that, okay, yeah, there we go. So it used to have a massive scroll bar because like each of these represents an entire collection, right? And it used to be that every single one of those collections was on that list. So they have squished it to be a whole lot less. They've squished it to have a whole lot less there. Okay, so... let's go back to the new stuff here. Changed die validating to skip die slots that are no longer visible to the player, which previously resulted in invalid die selected warnings. Added a get equipped fashion option to cosmetic slots, right-clicking the menu in the fashion panel for individual cosmetic slots. Wait, get equipped fashion option to cosmetic slots. Okay, so I think this is like those items in your bag that are just like a skin. You can right click and do get equipped fashion. No, wait, that's not right. No, that's incorrect. To cosmetic sauce. So if I go to, let me try this, hang on. So if I go to fashion template and I go here and I clear the template, save, and then I just right click on something, say get equipped fashion. That's what it is. Okay, so you can go into a template and just pull one thing into the template rather than doing this thing to get equipped fashion and pull in the whole thing. Okay, also they moved the get equipped fashion button over here. All right, cool. Okay. Moved the get equipped. Yep. We just talked about that. Moved get equipped fashion option from the context menu to a button in the fashion panel. Removed the fashion column from the quick access menu. So that's down here. There's that third column there. Now, you still have access to that feature. You can hotkey it, but honestly, I think it was causing more problems than it was helping. There was many people that clicked on one of those by accident and then just deleted because it would save over whatever you currently had equipped. You can still make different fashion templates and hotkey them, but you don't have it down there to try to prevent mistakes. And I am pro that change. Fixed an issue that prevented wrecked pieces of the Tower of Nightmares from displaying on the Kessex Hills map. Rewards. Replace the Snowdrift Spear icon with the correct art. Raids, boons that have been selected from the Golem spawner in the Special Forces training area are now applied to the Golem every 10 seconds instead of just once. You know, there's another issue in there sometimes. If you're a ranger or a mechanist and you're testing in that room and you apply boons to yourself and you hit the option to copy them to your pet, sometimes it works for like a minute and then it stops working. So very similar to this bug. I wonder if they have that one on their list. A new subcategory in the Raids Achievement category has been added for the Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity's Guardian's Glade raid encounter. Updated the Infallible title to display colored text. That's the title for doing all the raids without dying. Raid minis added in the February 3rd release are now available from the associated raid vendors. Increase the rate at which progress can be earned for the Mount Baurior Raid Mentor achievements. That is when you do Mount Baurior raid with people that have not raided before. You will get like mentor credit on it. Fixed an issue that affected progression for the new weekly raid achievements. Sorry, give me just a second. Let me take a drink of water here. Okay. World versus world changes. Keeps in Borderlands maps and the Eternal Battlegrounds spawn keep will now build waypoints as soon as they are controlled by the home team. Keeps will continue to build waypoints at fortified level only when controlled by an opposing team. If you do not own your spawn keep in Eternal Battlegrounds, you will gain plus 500 attributes while in your spawn sector until you leave the sector or regain control of your keep. Oh, that is a very interesting idea. So anyone that faced Maguma in the days of old knows about this. So what this basically means is if you get beaten back into a corner in World v World and you are all you have is your spawn point, your team gets a really thick buff, 500 to all stats, to help you break back out of your spawn until you get your keep back. I like that. This is not something I've ever considered. I like that they're trying to tackle that issue. Hitting a player with the Warclaw's Lance skill will always dismount you, even when hitting a player who's not mounted. The Skirmish Supervisor now offers options for converting Emblems of the Conqueror and Emblems of the Avenger to each other. Dugan now offers infinite utility primers and infinite metabolic primers as purchase options in exchange for World v World currencies. Okay, that sounds awesome at first. However, the infinite primers from raids require magnetite every single time you use them. I am going to assume that the World v World ones are going to eat like memories of battle or something every single time you use them. So double check that. If you are you're really excited by this news, make sure that it's what you want it to be. But for some people, this is going to be a great way to drain those currencies if you've got like 1 million of them. The Improved and Tactic pack now offers a choice of improvements or tactics instead of a random result. Reduce Flame Ram health by 20%. Reduce Trebuchet health by 17%. Increase Trebuchet supply cost by 60. Oh. Increase arrow card supply cost by 30. Lower damage trebuchets cause to other siege equipment by 25%. Poison cows will no longer drain supply from players with Trebuchet Mastery 2 and above. Instead, players inside the radius of the poison field receive a new effect called Trebuchet Toxin that inflicts damage over time and reduces incoming healing by 50%. Cannot be cleansed. Okay, so it's literally poison, but it can't be cleansed, so you need to get out of it. Burning Oil Mastery 3 no longer applies damage resistance to the oil and only applies it to the player. Cannon Mastery 1 no longer causes basic fire to remove boons and instead grants damage resistance to the player using the cannon. Profession skills. Elementalist. Burning Speed, Ring of Fire, Convergence, Blazing Barrage, Meteor, Fulgor, Derrico, and Fissure have all had their damage coefficient slightly nerfed in World v World. Haboob fixed an issue that caused this skill to deal more damage than intended in World v World. Reduced the damage coefficient from 1.5 to 1.4 in World v World. Ether Renewal increased the cooldown from 15 seconds to 20 in PvP. Rock Solid reduced the stability duration from 3 seconds to 1 while specializing in Earth Attunement in PvP. Catalyst Relentless Fire reduced the damage increase from 15% to 10 in World v World. Empowering Auras reduced the damage increase from per stack from 2% to 1 in World v World. Evoker Calcify reduced the day's duration from 1 second to 0.25 and the base barrier from 951 to 495 in PvP. Enhanced Potency reduced protection condition damage reduction from 25% to 10 in PvP. Familiar's Prowess reduced the damage reduction from 10% to 5 in PvP. Oh, by the way, when are they going to make the Evoker Familiar the weak shot autocast? They said they were going to do that when this expansion came out. That was months ago. Spirit's Sucker reduced the healing power coefficient from 0.2875 to 0.1 in PvP. They did. Did they make that change? It does? Okay, that's awesome. I clearly haven't played my Evoker in a while. I was still waiting on that change. I didn't know that they did that. Good to hear. Engineer Napalm reduced the damage coefficient per hit from 0.28 to 0.24 in World v World. Acid Bomb reduced the damage coefficient per hit from 0.85 to 0.7 in World v World. So slight nerfs to those two. Guardian Fiery Wrath reduced the damage increase from 7% to 5. Symbolic Avenger reduced the damage increase per stack from 2% to 1. Furious Focus reduced the damage increase from 10% to 7 in PvP and World v World. All right, so I feel like I should really highlight these two. These two don't say in a game mode, so I assume these are in all game modes. Luminary Resplendent Weaponry fixed an issue that caused this trait to apply boons in a smaller radius than intended. Oh, yes, that's great. So, as a support enjoyer, I mentioned when I did the video that I tried Heal Luminary, that the boons from it where the radius was much smaller than it said. Like, it lied. So I am happy to see this change happen. Because it said, like, one radius, but it actually applied them in a much smaller one. Conduit. Bolstered Bonds reduced the Legendary Assassin Stance bonus from 150 power and 150 ferocity to 75 of each in PvE only. Reduced the Legendary Demon Stance bonus from 75 Condi and 150 expertise to 75 Condi and 75 expertise in PvE only. Okay. Released Potential Assassin decreased damage coefficient from 1.3 to 1.0 in PvE. Banish Enchantment reduced the torment duration from 6 seconds to 3 in PvE. Unyielding Impact reduced the burning torment and poison duration from 6 seconds to 3 in PvE. Twin Moon Sweep reduced bleeding and confusion duration from 4 seconds to 3 in PvE. Okay, so any conduit DPS builds may be impacted by these changes. There's a lot of stuff here. Thief Antiquary, Scoundrel's Luck. This trait now grants Scoundrel's Luck when you use Scrit Swipe instead of an artifact use. Warrior fixed a graphics error in the targeting decal for Battle Standard, Banner of Strength, and Banner of Discipline. I didn't even know about that one. And then additional notes. General, if a player uses a guaranteed wardrobe unlock and only unlocked one piece of the Dapper Suit package, Breezy Swimsuit, Tropical Beach Pack, Gentle Garden Swing Chair Glider combo, Leather Straps package, Heretical Scholar's Cape and Hood combo, or Blissful Skirt and Boots combo, the rest of the items in this set can now be obtained from Black Lion Exchange Specialists. Okay. So all of these things are like, they're not outfits, but they're almost like outfits. So if you randomly unlock a piece of one of them, you can get the other pieces from a merchant. I don't know how much they're going to cost you, though. All right. I assume tickets, but I don't know the number. Raid changes. Fixed an issue that caused some storm effects to persist between attempts in the Guardian's Glade raid encounter. I didn't see that one. I did Guardian's Glade once. I did it, and it took us like 10 tries, and we got our kill, and then I made the guide on it, which will be out soon. But I did not see this bug, so good that they're fixing it. Fixed an issue that could prevent Crocodilian Razortooths from being summoned in the Guardian's Glade raid encounter. This I saw. So when there's a phase in the fight where the crab will go underground, and you got to run away and you got to kite it, because it'll instantly kill you if it comes underneath you. And the goal is to kill some crocodiles and bait the burrowed crab to hit their bodies, and it'll pop up on the crocs instead of on a player. However, if you went into phase 2, the kiting phase, and there were no crocs up, it was really rough. You had to kite until some spawned or wipe it. On some attempts, crocs would spawn as soon as you go into phase 2, and it felt like that was the intent. But on other attempts, you'd go into phase 2 and just not see any crocs. It'd be like, what the heck are we supposed to do? So that's fixed, hopefully. Fixed an issue that could cause the cursed artifact to reappear after the Guardian's Glade raid encounter has already been completed. Fixed an issue that prevented the Biting Swarm ability in the Guardian's Glade raid encounter from displaying the intended number of effect stacks corresponding to its damage level. All right, so that's the bees mechanic. In that fight, there's a mechanic that just looks like a red circle under a player, and basically you're just taking ticking damage. And I'm going to super simplify this. You take 1 damage, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and it just keeps going up. And if you come into contact with another person, your damage is reset back to 1, but now they also have it. And then you both are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. And then again, so you want to let that debuff sit on you until it starts to hurt and it's hard to heal through, then contact another person to reset it. However, if you immediately are stacked in the group and you get that debuff, it immediately gets spread out to the entire raid. There's no one to pass it to, and it gets out of hand and downstates people before it wears off. So this is saying that the tooltip is supposed to show like how powerful it's at. And that's probably good, because then you could make a rule for your group, like, okay, at 10 stacks, come back to the group, or at 15 stacks, you need to share it. You can make like a rule to go by at that point. Keela, Seneschal of the Waves, now defeats any players who try to escape her arena during the raid encounter. I read this and I immediately think of Lord Hyzen. Why? Hyzen, what did you do? Who figured out how to escape the crab? I don't know who did that. Okay, so there is all of that. Also, chat, did the challenge mode come out today? Let me know. I'm gonna check on chat in a second. And while I'm waiting on that response, there was a question on the forums that I think was worth mentioning. One person in chat says, yes, the challenge. Okay, there's a couple of people saying, yes, the CM came out. Thank you, guys. So Keela CM should be out as well. Did they not mention that? I feel like that should be front and center. That's like a major thing. Bro, come on. Like, that should be the top of the notes. That's like the big thing. The challenge mode's out. Okay. All right, it's their first day. It's their first day. All right, anyway. Other thing. We have known for a while that in the next major update, that is the 6-month update for Guild Wars 2, that they are releasing a legendary accessory. Now, currently in-game, there are 2 legendary accessories. I'm going to show them because I have both, because I have been in the game forever. There is Vision from Living World Season 4 and Aurora from Living World Season 3. That's it. If you want 2 legendary accessories, those are the 2 you got to get, but pretty soon that will no longer be the case. They said a while back that there would be one from World v World coming out at the 6-month update. Okay, cool. World v World has no legendary accessories, so that's totally fine. So then at that point, there would be 2 for PvE and 1 for World v World. However, new update today, Anet Ritchie says, I just confirmed with the team, the blog is accurate. There are 2 legendary accessories coming with the next quarterly update. One is acquired through World v World, and one through PvE. Enjoy. So, my thoughts on this is the PvE one could be from raids, or raid encounters, or quick play raids, or open world. Honestly, it could be Fractals too, but I doubt it. Because they did a bunch of changes. Like, Fractals just got Acacia, the legendary gloves. And that is focused on the quick play Fractal event. Now there's quick play raids. So they could do a accessory through quick play raids to just try to, like, get more people in there, or quick play raids, or normal raids, or raid encounters, or just open world stuff. I would assume it's going to be one of those. I don't have any information to back that up. That's just a guess. I would assume it's going to be one of those. And then, of course, we're getting one in World v World as well. So if you're a diehard World v World person, you can get it in there. It's also possible, I do not know for certain, that these might not be unique. An item that is unique, you can only have one of them equipped. As an example, Aurora is unique. The second line from the bottom of that window says unique. You cannot get 2 Auroras. So if these new accessories, if they are not unique, then you could potentially get 2 from World v World. And World v World already has Leggy rings and backpacks, so you could get like almost a whole set there. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Even if it is unique, this is awesome. It's more ways of getting this stuff. But if it's not unique, then it will be something that you could get double of. I would say if you're a World v World player and you are planning on trying to get this, save up tickets. Because the previous World v World legendaries, which was Conflux and the Warbringer backpack, need an absolute mountain of World v World tickets. And you can only get a set amount of tickets each week. That's your time gate. It's very simple. It is deceptively simple. It is just play World v World, earn tickets. But you only get a certain amount of tickets each week. And so that's your limiting factor. So you could do that now. You could start saving up tickets now. If you're going to get the World v World accessories, you're going to want to stockpile those, I'm sure. There might be other things as well. You might need like badges or memories of battle. Those were used in the previous World v World projects. I think it's safe to assume that it might be good to save a couple stacks of those if you're able to do so. I think that's just a safe assumption, but I do not know for certain. As far as the PvE one, don't know enough. It could be... Hold on a sec. I just remembered something else that might be a factor. Just a moment. Okay, so this is the release schedule. So Update 2 adds Map 3. It's also possible that the new PvE Legendary accessory could involve Map 3. So you might... it might require a currency that we cannot yet farm. If it is a currency from Map 3. Just like how we've got currencies for Starlit Weald, and we've got currencies for Shipwreck Strand. Whatever Map 3 is will probably have its own currency, and that currency, we might need like 250 of it or something to get the new PvE accessory. Could be completely wrong. It might be quick play raids. Don't know, but it's a possibility. Okay, so I think that's everything I know on that. I mentioned the accessory. We went over the notes. Going into the game, I have already checked the Black Lion Ticket Merchant. There is nothing new there. I mentioned in the chest there is the new pants. On the Black Lion store, since we were doing a news video anyway, there is a new door. And I won't lie, I think this looks pretty cool. There's like a steel char up there. This is very Black Citadel themed. There's like exhaust pipes, there's like gears and stuff like that. I think it's a shame we only use these doors for like 1 second, but I do think the artwork here is pretty solid. I like it. And then, switching away and switching back, there's like a porculus type thing. A couple days ago, it wasn't in a news video, but there is a mischievous ferret Warclaw skin. Now, that is in the game now. And what was the other thing? There was a box. Sorry, voice is a bit rough. Right here, Fashionistas package. So, yeah, behave. The Fashionistas package has 3 guaranteed die unlocks and 3 vouchers. An outfit voucher, a cape voucher, and a weapons voucher. So, these are not random. if you get this, you can take these to the Black Lion company in Lion's Arch, and there's merchants, and they'll have a whole list of stuff, and you can buy something with the voucher. So you can get an outfit of your choice, a cape of your choice, and a weapon of your choice. Now, that's not to say that every single outfit in the game is on the merchant. I think they are, but if you're considering buying this, my recommendation is to go to the Black Lion place in Lion's Arch, check the merchant that sells stuff for the vouchers, and see if there's something you want. Because as you know, there's people that are going to be in the comment section like, is this worth it? It's cosmetic. It's purely cosmetic. It's worth it if you think it's good. If you think it looks good, then it's worth it. If you don't, then okay, that's it. It's conversation's over. And as far as where that person is, because I just saw someone ask in the chat, they are here. Right here, the vaults. Like, go in here, talk to the people, and there's ticket people there, and you can see if they've got anything you want, and then you can decide if you want to buy the Fashionista box. All right. Let's see. Mug correction. Inside the Keela instance, there is a challenge mode that activates CM, so it's just a visual miscue for the raid UI, and they forgot to mention it live during the notes. Yeah. Teapot is currently on Keela CM. It is 100% out. Okay, good. Then, if the ANET devs see this video, you need to advertise the stuff you make. You worked hard on it. Shout it from the rooftops. Why do you keep forgetting to tell people when you make cool stuff? Yeah, it was. I think it was Ura CM, and I think maybe even Lonely Tower CM. They forgot to announce. Like, if I had a nickel for every time it's happened, I'd only have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened 3 freaking times. Anyway, I think that's it. They're very humble. They are very humble. That is everything I know that is new at this point in time. As always, I'll have links to all the notes. I have links to my sources down below. I'll also have a link for the Khalid Bulg guide that I made in the past, if you want to make that, because that now also comes with a ascended spear or staff option. So I'll put that down below, and if you got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, or you want to point out anything I missed, please share them with the others in the comment section, and I will fight you there.